You walk into a cafe,
Yeah.
right? And you just want a simple cup of coffee to start your day.
Yeah, just the basics.
Exactly. But instead, you step up to the counter and you find yourself staring at a menu demanding you choose between like single origin pour-overs, chocolate notes, floral finishes, and I mean 7 different types of milk.
Oh, at least 7. It's wild.
Right. You aren't buying a morning beverage anymore. You are taking a high-stakes personality test. And you have about 10 seconds to figure it out before the barista just completely loses their patience with you.
It's so stressful.
It really is. So welcome to the English Boost Podcast, everybody. Today we're exploring that exact feeling. We're looking at the intersection of everyday language and coffee culture.
Because, stepping into a modern cafe is kind of like the ultimate modern gauntlet.
Yeah.
You step out of the traditional language classroom where everything is perfectly categorized and graded, and you walk right into a linguistic landscape that is just entirely chaotic.
Completely chaotic. But that chaos is exactly what we want to talk about today. Our mission isn't just to memorize coffee terms from a textbook. We really want to take you through the real-life side of coffee and extract these powerful English vocabulary words that you can actually use in your daily conversation.
Right, because learning a language isn't just about staring at lists. It's about, letting the rhythm and the phrases of a real conversation just sort of wash over you. It gives your brain context.
Exactly, giving your brain those examples before you even try to speak. So let's jump right back to that moment at the counter, the ordering phase.
The panic phase.
Oh, total panic. Because honestly, sometimes it feels less like a simple transaction and more like, I don't know, approaching a Border Patrol checkpoint where you don't fully speak the language.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
You make one wrong move, one wrong vocabulary choice, and you're walking out of there with a $6 cup of sour bean water.
Which nobody wants. But, the modern cafe menu is this fascinating cultural artifact. In this attempt to elevate coffee to an artisanal craft, cafes have essentially turned their menus into, science textbooks.
Oh, 100%. It's all acidity levels and extraction methods.
Right, you have to navigate cortados, flat whites, and then, survive the milk interrogation. Oat, almond, regular, extra foam.
No foam.
Exactly. And what the sources we're looking at point out, which is just so universally true, is that internal monologue we all experience in that moment.
Oh, the internal monologue is so loud.
Right. You stand there, offering this frozen smile to the barista, and you're nodding as if you fully comprehend what a floral finish implies.
Meanwhile, you are secretly terrified they're going to ask you a follow-up question, like, please just take my money and let this interaction end.
Yes. It is a uniquely stressful environment, and this actually introduces the first really crucial piece of vocabulary for today.
Okay, let's hear it.
The word intimidating, it's an adjective, and it describes something that makes you feel nervous or unsure or scared simply because it seems so difficult or complex.
Right, like the menu.
Exactly like the menu. But where people get tangled up is how to use intimidating versus feeling intimidated.
Ah, right. It's a subtle grammatical shift, but it kind of changes the whole power dynamic of the sentence, doesn't it?
It really does. So the menu itself is intimidating. It is actively projecting difficulty. But the result of that action is that you, the person, feel intimidated.
Intimidated with an ED at the end.
Yes, exactly. The ing form projects the feeling outward, and the ed form absorbs the feeling. It's the cause versus the effect.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
And, you can apply that structural logic to so many words, like boring versus bored, right? Or overwhelming versus overwhelmed.
Precisely. But intimidating captures this very specific flavor of anxiety where you just question your own competence.
Yeah, you feel like you're failing a test you didn't study for. But the sources actually offer this brilliant practical tip for when you find yourself staring at an intimidating menu.
Oh, the cheat code.
Yes, the social cheat code. Because you don't actually need to know the fancy artisanal words. Even native speakers get completely lost.
Oh, absolutely we do.
So if you don't know what a single origin pour-over is, you just bypass the terminology entirely. You just describe the physical sensation you want.
Right, like saying, I'd like something mild, or I want something creamy and not too sweet.
Exactly. Or you just use the ultimate lifeline and ask, what do you recommend?
Which is such a masterful social pivot, honestly. By asking, what do you recommend? You instantly shift the cognitive burden right back to the expert behind the counter.
Yeah, they know the menu. Let them do the work.
Exactly. It flatters their expertise, it completely removes the pressure from your shoulders, and it diffuses that whole intimidating situation.
It's so functional. You can use that in any unfamiliar environment, not just a coffee shop.
Oh, totally. Restaurants, wine bars, even buying technology.
So, okay, you deploy the cheat code,
Hmm.
you survive the register, you get your cup, and the panic finally subsides. But now, your entire experience pivots again.
Right, because now you have to find a place to sit.
Exactly. Whether you actually enjoy that drink now depends entirely on the physical space you're in. We move from the stress of ordering to the actual feeling of the environment.
Which brings us to our second big concept today, the space around the cup. And the specific English word we want to focus on here is ambiance.
Ambiance. I want to pause on ambiance for a second because if I'm being totally honest, whenever I hear someone use that word, I usually just assume they mean like expensive furniture.
Just a fancy velvet couch or
Yeah.
something.
Like, oh, they have a nice plant and a cool chair, so it has good ambiance. Is it just a pretentious word for interior design?
Well, no, that's actually a really common misconception. Furniture is just a static physical object. Ambiance refers to the invisible energy or, the overall atmosphere of a place.
Okay, so it's more than just what you see.
Way more. It is the complex sum of a lot of overlapping sensory inputs. So yeah, the furniture plays a part, but ambiance is heavily dictated by the warmth of the lighting, the kind of music they're playing, the smell of the roasted
The
beans.
noise level.
Yes, the ambient noise level is a huge factor.
That makes perfect sense, actually, because you could have two cafes that sell the exact same coffee. They use the exact same wooden chairs.
Yep.
But the experiences are worlds apart
Completely different.
because one has a cozy ambiance, right?
Mm.
Warm lights, soft jazz music, plants everywhere. You walk in and you just feel instantly creative. You feel
The
good.
body relaxes.
Yes. But the exact opposite exists too. And I absolutely love the vivid imagery the source material used for a cafe with bad ambiance.
No, the drinking stress concept?
Yes. Drinking stress. It's the perfect visceral metaphor. You walk into a place with these harsh, bright, white fluorescent lights,
No, the worst.
and the chairs are practically scraping aggressively against a polished concrete floor. Everyone is shouting over each other.
And you sit at one of those tiny wobbly metal tables.
Exactly. You sit down in that environment, and you aren't enjoying a beverage anymore. You are literally just drinking stress.
It's such a brilliant description because it highlights how an environment physically impacts us. A terrible ambiance triggers this, evolutionary alerting response.
You feel tense, like you're late for a meeting, even if it's a Sunday.
Right. But a cozy ambiance signals to your body that you're safe. Like, okay, we can stay here. And the utility of the word ambiance is huge. You can talk about the ambiance of a hotel, a study space, or even, just a peaceful room in your house.
Yeah, that physical relief of a good ambiance is so real. But, having established the whole public cafe experience, I think it's interesting to pivot to how we consume coffee privately.
Right, at home.
Yeah, like when we're in our own kitchens. What do those choices say about us? Are we just feeding a chemical dependency every morning, or is there something deeper happening?
Well, this really shifts our focus from the physical environment to human behavior. And to understand this, we have to look at the difference between a habit and a ritual.
Oh, this is a great distinction.
Yeah, people use them interchangeably all the time in casual English, but psychologically, they're very different things.
Because a habit is just mindless, right?
Right.
Like brushing your teeth. You do it on autopilot while you're mentally making a grocery list.
Exactly. A habit is automatic, but a ritual requires your presence. A ritual is an action that feels meaningful or comforting or special in some way.
So the sources gave this really specific example of a morning coffee ritual.
Yeah, making the coffee slowly.
Right. It's not just pushing a button on a machine. It's the act of holding the cup with both hands, staring at nothing out the window, trying not to touch your phone for just 1 minute.
Which is so hard to do, by the way.
It's incredibly hard.
Yeah.
But it's about waiting for your personality to return to your body before you have to talk to anyone.
Yes, it's a signal.
Yeah, it's a signal that helps you gently, as they put it, enter the day before all the messages and the noise hit you like a meeting you didn't agree to attend.
It creates a buffer. But, within this whole private consumption thing, we also run into this really funny cultural debate.
Oh, the simple versus fancy coffee person debate.
Yes, and specifically the guilt that people associate with sweet coffee.
The sugar guilt. I see this all the time. People feel this deep sense of shame if they don't drink their coffee black.
Right, like they're failing a test of discipline.
Exactly. If
Yeah.
they want like a caramel latte with whipped cream and cinnamon, they practically whisper their order at the counter. They view it as a weakness.
It's a strange moralization of a drink.
Okay.
But this is where we get our next great vocabulary word, Indulgence.
Indulgence. I have to say, adopting the word indulgence is an absolute masterclass in personal branding.
It really is. It changes everything.
Because calling it a guilty pleasure or a weakness makes you feel bad. But framing it as an indulgence, that's powerful.
Right, because an indulgence is defined as a small pleasure or an extra treat that you purposefully allow yourself.
It's not unhealthy, it's just a soft word that's totally free of guilt.
Exactly. It's not a failure of willpower. It's a tiny celebration. And an indulgence can be anything, really.
Like buying yourself flowers just because.
Yes. Or sleeping late on a weekend. Or, getting a fancy pastry after a really hard week at work. It's a conscious act of treating yourself.
I love that.
Yeah.
But we do have to acknowledge that not everyone is out there seeking a sugary indulgence.
True. Some people genuinely prefer their coffee completely black.
Which is wild to me.
Yeah.
But yes, they do. And not all coffee is drank just for pleasure.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's highly functional. Which transitions us to the whole black coffee debate and the role of caffeine when our energy just completely crashes.
Right. So let's talk about the taste first. Nobody is really born loving the taste of bitter black coffee.
No, it tastes like sadness the first time you try it.
Exactly. And that brings up the phrase, an acquired taste.
An acquired taste, meaning it's something you don't like at first.
Right. It might taste too bitter or harsh initially, but you slowly learn to enjoy it over time. And grammatically, it's usually a noun phrase like, black coffee is an acquired taste, or a verb phrase, I acquired a taste for it.
And there are so many non-coffee examples of this.
Oh, yeah. Like strong cheese.
Strong blue cheese, for sure.
Yeah.
Or really dark chocolate.
Jazz music is a great example.
Oh, that's a good one. And even personality traits, like dry humor.
Yes.
Dry humor is totally an acquired taste. You might not get it at first, but then you slowly learn to appreciate the rhythm of how that person jokes.
Exactly. So that's the taste aspect. But then there's the functional aspect, the dreaded 3:00 p.m. energy crash.
So the afternoon slump.
Right. And this introduces the term, a pick-me-up.
A pick-me-up. Hyphenated. Right.
Yes, as a noun, it's hyphenated. It's something that gives you physical or emotional energy when you feel tired or low or slow.
And I have to share this incredibly relatable analogy from the source material for that 3:00 p.m. crash.
Oh, please do. It's so good.
Okay, so you know when someone asks you a question at 3:00 p.m. and your brain just functions like an old, slow-loading computer.
Yeah.
You just have that little spinning circle inside your head, and you're just staring blankly until the coffee finally kicks in and repairs the system.
That is exactly what it feels like, a total system freeze.
The pick-me-up is the reboot, but we should clarify the grammar here, because there's a really crucial difference between the noun, a pick-me-up, and the verb phrase, pick me up.
Right. The pronunciation and stress change everything.
So if I say, can you pick me up at 5?
Mm-hmm.
That's transportation.
Exactly. You're asking for a ride.
But I say, I need a pick me up, that's the energy boost.
Yes. And a pick-me-up doesn't even have to be coffee. So.
Sure. What are some other ones?
Well, it could be a cup of tea. Or just taking a short walk outside. Or even eating a quick snack.
Or a really nice message from a friend right when you're stressed.
Definitely.
Although, let's be real, the ultimate pick-me-up in the corporate world is a canceled meeting.
Oh, absolutely. Nothing gives you more energy than a meeting suddenly disappearing from your calendar.
Nothing beats it.
Yeah.
So, okay, we've covered the drink itself, the intimidating menus, the ambiance of the space, our private morning rituals, our acquired tastes, and the 3 p.m. pick-me-ups.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We really have. But there is one final piece to this whole coffee culture puzzle, and it's what happens across the table from you. The human connection.
The social bridge. This is arguably the most powerful part because the phrase, let's grab a coffee, is just the ultimate social tool in English.
It really is. Because it almost never actually means I am thirsty for a caffeinated beverage.
Right. It's a casual, low-pressure invitation. It works for literally everything.
Friends catching up, colleagues taking a break, first dates.
Asking a mentor for advice. It's universal.
And if you contrast, let's grab a coffee with the alternative. I mean, imagine walking up to someone and saying, would you like to schedule a serious conversation about our lives?
That is a terrifying prospect. Nobody wants to agree to that.
No, it's way too much pressure. But a coffee shop provides this comfortable frame.
Right, and it gives you these easy starter questions to break the ice. Are you getting hot or iced, or what do you usually order here?
Exactly. Those questions naturally build into deeper, real conversations. And if the conversation gets awkward, you just take a sip of your drink. The beverage is just the excuse to get you to the table.
It's brilliant social engineering, really.
It is. So to wrap up today, we've taken quite a vocabulary journey. From navigating that intimidating menu to finding a place with cozy ambience,
Recognizing your morning rituals and your weekend indulgences.
developing an acquired taste, and of course, finding that essential 3 p.m. pick-me-up.
It's amazing how much language is packed into such a simple daily routine.
It really is. And I want to leave you, the listener, with a final thought to mull over today. Look closely at your own daily routines, even the ones that have absolutely nothing to do with coffee.
Your commute, your evening routine.
Exactly. How many of your mundane daily actions are actually hidden rituals or small indulgences that are just waiting for the right vocabulary to make them feel special?
That's a great question to reflect on.
So keep noticing the rhythm of English in your everyday life, and don't be afraid of those intimidating menus. Thanks for exploring with us, and we'll see you next time on the English Foods Podcast.